All right, y'all. So, thank you for tuning in again to Tap In, y'all.
Tap in.
This is going so fast, and I'm really having so much fun recording these podcasts. So, if you are supporting me, sharing my podcast, all that stuff, it means the world to me.
And
I
please
appreciate
continue
it.
that shit.
Please
continue, because we need the views, we need the downloads, we need the subscriptions,
all that.
shit.
Like, comment, subscribe, share, show your mama, show your daddy, all that shit. We appreciate y'all.
All of y'all.
We fuck with you. And
what
we
we
appreciate
talking
the
about
support.
today, though?
Okay, today we are talking about healing. And I'm a spiritual person, so I honestly don't think that things happen by like
Chance. I mean,
well,
no, we do think things.
Oh yeah, we do things happen by
chance.
Yeah, by chance, but it's
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. So, like I said, on the first podcast that I did with Makala, episode 10 of Ideally Me, I was talking about my situation in that I was going through something right now. And when I went to choose my subject or whatever today out of the jar, healing came up. And I just thought that was crazy because I'm like, is this a sign? So, definitely a sign, and I guess it's just time for me to heal. So we're talking about healing today.
It might not be time yet, but just in case.
Yeah, I mean,
just in case.
The door is open, but
I'm still hopeful, y'all.
I'm hopeful too. I am. I ain't
not
even
ready
gonna
for
lie.
I'm not ready for her to give up on this one. Not yet.
Me either.
Even as the
because
friend,
I don't
I'm
like
not ready.
nobody, and I always.
I'm not ready
the
for you
one
to
time
give
I
up on
like a
this.
nigga, and he was my favorite nigga.
And I see how this is affecting her, so I'm not ready for her to give up on this shit.
But if
means
I
too
have
much.
to, I feel like.
If need be, you know how to heal from it.
Yeah, I know how. It's just the simple fact that I'm not ready to let it go. And y'all know how that shit is. When you gotta cut off your favorite niggas, that shit's crazy.
It be so sad.
It be so sad. You be like, Lord, I love him. I just want to love him.
I love him.
I love him so much. I just want to. Oh, God. Somebody come get
I
this
do that
fucking
snort.
pig.
I'm sorry. But she said, I love him. All I think of when I hear love is Boosie. Love you.
Love you, girl.
Y'all, I wanted to be on Boosie Live so bad just to hear him
Showing
say,
your
love
pussy
you.
lip.
No.
Yeah,
No. I can't dance and I ain't showing none of that shit. But I just want to hear Boosie tell me one time, love you. And I'll be happy.
Shit, a bitch could use $1,000 right now.
Okay, put the pussy in. Okay, y'all. We vulgar, but I don't think we want to say pussy.
Nah,
No, we don't want that.
My mama told me to stop cussing.
That's
y'all.
going to be the last time y'all hear us say the P word, okay?
Last time y'all hear her say the word, not me. No problem.
No, we might have some. We got sex talks and stuff.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna hear it.
Yeah,
But
so
y'all
just so y'all know, as a disclaimer, if you're listening to the podcast, we are at the lake. The lake. Tongue twisted from the coronas. We are at the lake, and so you'll hear like motors and boats and people playing music and other people talking, all sorts of stuff. So,
but at the end of the day, it's so peaceful, and we felt like with healing to have a peaceful scenery to talk about it would be great. And I mean, it feels so damn good outside.
it
now.
do. It feel good now. Earlier it was hot as
It was
fuck.
a little hot. My kneecaps and shit was sweating.
Right, my stomach was sweating. All of that. It was crazy out here.
But let's
yeah.
talk about
Healing.
So you
Makala
wanna hear a
gonna go
story?
first.
All right, so when it comes to my healing, I've had 3 relationships in my life, and they all were toxic, and I never healed from one before I got into the other, and I was super young too.
So
you
you jumping from one relationship to the next
another
one. You ain't
taking no time. And so with my first 2 relationships, before I got to college, with my last one, they were really toxic. They were abusive. They demeaned me. They talked bad. I mean, I felt worthless, insecure. I mean, just so much less than. I had to kind of be pried out of those relationships because I felt so worthless that I stuck around for it. They made me.
You just feel like you not gonna get anything better.
But I knew I could though. I knew that
could.
they didn't even match up to my standard of where I was at then. It honestly, it was just it really, those relationships really sucked. I've been in some domestic past relationships. And so when I got into my last relationship, since I didn't heal properly, I took the stuff that they was dishing out and I dished it out on my ex-boyfriend, my recent ex-boyfriend.
Because it was a learned behavior.
It was a learned behavior.
One thing when me and my ex-boyfriend, when we was doing all the fist fighting and all sorts of shit, when we was doing that shit, being young, I thought that was the norm.
Yeah.
Like, until I got older to where I was like, hey, that wasn't that. Yeah.
That's not love. And
that's not love.
They not dishing out love and you not dishing out love either. And so, like with this last relationship, since I had learned so many of these behaviors, I was the toxic one. I was the abusive one. I put my hands on him. And I don't condone putting your hands on a man, and I don't condone a man putting his hands on a woman. But since
y'all know, just as a disclaimer, y'all know it's a double standard when a man put his hands on a woman, it's like it's the end of the world.
But when a woman does it, it's like that man better not hit her back type of thing, no matter how much she do. And it was, thank God, my ex-boyfriend, he never put his hands back on me, but I really feel bad, and if I could apologize 1,000,000 times, I would. I probably have 1,000 already, but if I could, I would, because I was just really toxic, and I was so hurt from the past that I thought every nigga was like them. So when we would get into our altercation and stuff, I'm immediately in defense mode. What's up? Like, you ready? Like,
ready to put that pause on.
What's about to go down? Because I'm so used to it going down that, you know, I'm ready. And I was putting that out on him, and it really wasn't fair despite what he had been doing, because let's not put it out that he was not innocent. I was triggered in many ways, but like I said, it's never okay to put your hands on a man. Yeah. And so just after that situation, that's when I finally had to just realize, like, you got some shit you need to work on. You got some shit that you need to heal from, because I felt like
you fucked up.
Yeah, I felt like I missed out on a good thing. Despite our little childish behaviors and things that we had, we had a good foundation. We could have been good for each other. But being young and him not properly healing from his past relationship, me not properly healing from mine, it brought up trust issues. It brought so much. And it was just like, if we would have healed and stuff like that, it could have been so much better. And I really felt like I lost out on something good. So after that situation, it was like, I'm about to heal, because I want him back. I want to be able to come to him and say, I didn't work on this and that. Let's get back together.
You wanted to be, I went and talked to the lady.
Yeah, I got help. I went and talked to the lady. No, for real. I did tell you some messages. I was like almost pleading with him, like I've changed.
Please,
some things had happened, and like recently we've been in contact, and of course he accepts my apology. That's not the thing that he's really hung up on. He's more so hung up on the one time that I cheated during a break. But y'all know how people feel about break.
So that mean you ain't cheated, you just fucked with another nigga.
Yeah, while we was on a break. But although he cheated many times while we were actually in our relationship, but that's not his there, because he sees that issue now. He sees what brought me to that point, but at the same time, he still has a hard time forgiving me for that. Yeah, like, I don't want him to listen to the episode that we did on relationships, because he's most likely going to feel away.
Of course he is.
He might feel away about this episode. I don't know. I still trigger him a lot in many ways by just from the past and existing. Yeah, kind of, sort of. So it's just hard. But like I said, after that situation is really when I really sat down and started putting the work, and that's what kind of led me to even doing the podcast, is because I just started working on so much stuff. I was like, okay, now that I got it down packed, now that I've learned so much and gained so much wisdom and knowledge on how to be and all this kind of stuff, why not share it with other people? Because I know I ain't the only toxic person that need this, need that, all this kind of stuff.
So my question is, when you were healing, what did you do?
What's my biggest mechanism for healing?
Whether it's an unhealthy coping mechanism, because we're going to talk about that too, y'all, because I done had to go up from some shit that had
But that's technically not fully healing, if you, the toxic ones, like drinking or something like that.
Yeah, the toxic ones, it's not healing, but at the time,
temporary.
It was very temporary fix. Yeah. So they
But
distracted me.
but what I did to really be able to heal and stuff like that was I got closer to God. Honestly, I've never been that type of person that was just like in church every Sunday or anything like that, but I believe heavily in God. And that's how I ended up starting my own relationship with him by myself. I've Bible studied, I've learned God, I've talked to God solo. I still don't go to church. But when I say I have a powerful relationship with God, I have a powerful relationship with God. And so I dug into my Bible. I started trying to figure out, discern some things that was in there, like healing, wisdom, all this kind of stuff. The book of Psalms, John, all that kind of stuff. I just started reading the Bible. What can I gain from this? And then if you don't already have the Bible app, they have like plans in the Bible app. So I started off with doing plans until I could figure out how to study on my own. And so some of the plans is about healing, forgiveness, and it'll really just touch on different books or scriptures in the Bible on those subjects. So you just reading about healing. And so it was really eye-opening for me to start going through these Bible plans that related to my current situation. And when I started doing that, I was able to really just feel like put God, like center God in my life. And once I did that, peace just overcame me in so many ways. I started journaling and stuff. I was writing out scriptures and information from my plan every day. If I was feeling a certain way, I was writing it out. Journaling is my biggest outlet when it comes to healing, sadness, anger, any fucking thing. I write that shit out and I pray. Once I pray about it, I have like, since I've developed this closeness in this relationship, once I pray, I have instant peace. I don't even know how to even explain it to you, but I have full-blown instant peace. And I prayed even for your situation the other day. Aww. That you find peace and that you find a way to, not let it trouble you. And that was one of the biggest things that helped me heal. God, honestly, I swear to God. Like, you're not supposed to swear to God, but I put that on everything. If I never had built that relationship, I wouldn't be here right now doing a podcast. Wow, honestly,
that's dope.
He helped me find myself, find my purpose within that time of healing. I found purpose within my healing.
Y'all, Makala getting y'all the scripture.
I'm getting deep because, and that's kind of where my podcast kind of comes from. I talk a lot about my spiritual side and what I've learned, because people fail to realize that you ain't got to go to church every day. You ain't got to be this solid ass person to have a genuine relationship with God and to really get his peace and his love and his blessings and stuff like that. And until I did that, once I did that, it released so much off of me. I'm not fucking lying to you. I'm not. It just seemed like good. Everything was lifted off.
And y'all, if y'all are into like Christianity and all sorts of stuff, I say do it. That's dope.
I kept a strong spirit with it. He allowed me to keep a strong spirit.
Yeah, one thing for me, well, two things actually for me is I'm not really big on Christianity, but that does help
but
people.
But you believe in something higher.
Yeah,
right?
I believe in God.
And that's
I believe that there's a higher power. I believe that there's a creator, but I don't like, for instance, okay, so let me tell you about my time when I needed to heal. So a lot of times people relate healing back to only relationships when it's not just relationships that you got to heal from, like loss. That's something that's a big loss. Your past, childhood traumas, all that. But mine, it was loss. And it was loss of a person, and it was my close cousin who I considered a brother. And going through that time, I was going through the grieving phase hard, to where it would be times to where I didn't understand what I was going through. Like, I literally felt like I was losing my mind. And I took his death so hard, to where, like, I think I was really angry with my family for a long time, because he was Muslim, and we had an Islamic funeral for him, and then we turned around and had a Christian funeral for him. So isn't that traumatic?
Yeah.
Like nobody sees that.
Two funerals.
Two funerals for a person that you love so much.
Yeah, that's a
and
lot.
he died from asthma attack or whatever, respiratory distress. So it was sudden.
Yeah.
It wasn't like
unexpected. Completely.
It was unexpected, even though he was sickly. But when I was going through that process or whatever, I'll be honest, when it came down to it, it wasn't. I felt like prayer wasn't working.
Mm-hmm.
When people would tell me things like, "Oh, I'm gonna pray for you," it would piss me off because I know you're not gonna fucking pray for me. And then it was like I just felt like praying wasn't working. Like it was like I can't find a peace of mind. I just can't get a grip. Okay, I thought so. I just can't get a fucking grip. Like I was just stressed out. I was overwhelmed. It was just too much. I was crying every day, and I had an overwhelming fear of losing someone else close to me. Like one of my, like it was like, but it was unrealistic. Like I would be up at 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock in the morning calling my sister just to see if she was still alive. Like it was that dramatic. Like it was unrealistic.
So how did you end up coping and healing?
I went to therapy.
So you believe in taking the therapy route. And see, I think therapy is great. Instead of me going to a therapist, though, God is my therapy. It's my therapy.
And that works for you. But for me, because
you need that physical person.
I went to therapy. I was taking medication just to kind of help deal with the depression, because with his death, I was in nursing school at the time, and I was having such a hard time trying to get back on track and balance that and go to nursing school, to where I had to drop out of school because I had to handle that. I had to heal up because it was just too much. It was heavy. I remember, like, I would be in clinicals, and when you're in nursing school, like, you meet with the charge nurse or whatever, and not the charge nurse, but the charge of whatever, the nurse that's at the clinical.
Y'all know.
Yeah, your clinical instructor. That's the thing. We would be there, and we would have this group meeting about the clinic with our clinical instructor, and they would basically give you a plan and a rundown about what you're gonna do today. And so when we would first get there, I remember I would get there about 15 minutes early before we had to be at the clinical site, so I could at least have 30 minutes to cry. And then it was like, once I got done crying and being so upset, when it was time for my clinical instructor to give me like my plan and stuff, it was just like, I don't know what she just said to me because I'm so distracted.
So I got a question. When you started going to therapy, did your therapist like give you different tactics to help you heal, or just in general talking to a therapist helped you heal? What actually did it though?
What actually did it? I think talking to a therapist and applying whatever we talked about.
What kind of things did she want you to apply?
One of the things was she wanted me to slow down my life.
Okay.
She was like, you need to slow down and you need to acknowledge this, because like I said on our previous past, in my household, I wasn't really acknowledging being sad and how dramatic it was, because growing up in my household, you was either happy or you was mad, and that's the only thing that was okay.
No in between.
No in between. I don't know about y'all household, but that's what it was. And so just coping with that. I mean, of course, I share my grief with other people who loved him just as well, so that also helped me. But sometimes it was just like it could make it worse too, because they just start busting out crying.
Right.
Like, oh shit, that's what we
we're having a crying fest now. Shit.
Yeah, like, oh shit.
Like, damn.
But even other things that people may do when it comes to death, like a lot of times my family members like to go to his gravesite. I don't like that.
Visit.
I don't like that because it's like he's not there, and it's actually kind of triggering for me. But I do it to support my sister.
Right.
It's actually like,
but I feel like that's
and it like going there. It just reminds me of how going to his gravesite reminds me of everything that I felt at the time of his death, like how I felt towards my family, all sorts of stuff. Like I don't. It was really a traumatic.
I feel like a lot of people do things to heal that don't necessarily help, but they think it would help. So it's like toxic healing almost in a way, because it's temporarily fixing it, but it's not actually healing you in a way. So like drinking.
Unhealthy coping
mechanisms. Yeah, coping mechanisms and stuff like that, and then it only in return makes matters worse when you're not doing it, type of thing. And so I think everybody heals in their own way and stuff like that. Healing always takes time.
To kind of pedal back to the unhealthy coping mechanisms, I remember I was going through it with this boy, and like I would literally drink
To get over it.
every day. Only time, girl, I would be on my lunch breaks drinking wine in my car.
Shit, he fucked you up.
Like,
Not the wine in the car.
like I would.
You had it like in a bottle or like a water bottle. Like how?
Yeah. Like I would come to work and people would think that I would be drinking orange juice, but I would be drinking like a mimosa.
That's wild.
In a water bottle. Yeah. It was crazy, and then I would literally carry around like what's that called? Carlos Rossi. Like the gallon, I would literally carry that around with me everywhere I went. Like even if I was just going around the corner, it was like it was my baby.
You needed a drink with you.
Yeah, it was like it was my baby. But that's how I dealt with it. I dealt with it, and that was so unhealthy. I ended up, don't do that, y'all. I got hella fucking fat.
You know,
but I wasn't eating. I was just drinking wine. But and I was
alcohol.
So I was drinking wine Monday through Friday. But when Friday hit, hard liquor. And y'all, at that time, like
a bloated mess.
Yes, y'all. I wasn't eating. I was just drinking. And then if I was eating, it was only to eat so I could drink again.
Damn.
Yeah, like it was that bad. I used to keep fifths by my bed all day.
Oh yeah,
girl. Yes,
you
it was bad.
Yeah,
that shit.
But I
bad,
mean, that's like the same thing. I may not notice how bad mine is or something like that because I'm more so a smoker. Pass me the weed at this point because instead of drinking, I'm just about to get high.
Yeah.
Oh, should I? Fuck whoever. Co-workers, don't watch. I don't follow them. They ain't watching this shit anyway. I hope
you never
not.
know.
If they do,
because my coworkers,
they about know already. If I'm friends with them on any social medias enough for them to see that I got this podcast, they about kind of already got an idea or know anyway. So anyway, marijuana is a healer as well.
Mary Jane. All right,
but
so some other things with me, like having to heal and going through this shit more than once, because like I said, you gotta
heal multiple times.
You gotta heal multiple times from a bunch of shit, from what the fuck ever, from friendships, relationships, walls, your fucking
what
job.
I think's the hardest? And I've never even dealt with it, but I've had friends and people personally that dealt with it. Death of a child.
Oh yeah.
Death of a child. I got some friends to where are of a parent while we're young in this age or something like that. I think I have a lot of people that I know that they're still trying to heal from those type of situations.
I don't think people ever heal from that.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think that's one of the worst ones, and then like sexual assault, stuff like that. And
thank God I don't have any experience.
Yeah,
in
but
that, but
if you are healing up from that, I do wish you a healthy healing process.
And I would like to know how you do heal. It's not like we won't have to disclose names or anything like that, but if anybody wants to share a story and kind of let us know your mechanisms for healing or anything like that, definitely reach out, because that'll only make an episode like this even more informative and better, because everybody heals in different ways, like we said. We both healing in different type of ways.
Exactly. So, like just with that simple thing, she pray, I do whatever I need to do. And we're gonna go into detail about what it is that I need to do. And she already went into detail about her, but
I want to hear
so
it.
I just wrote down a couple things to know. So first, you need to acknowledge the grief, acknowledge the loss, acknowledge whatever you're going through. You need to understand it, and you need to learn how to detach from it. Do whatever it takes to detach from it. Like, for instance, me, what I'm doing now is I'm not looking at that boy on the internet and I'm not reaching out to him. Like, No, until she get better. Like, I'm detaching from it because he got me fucked up. But
me too. At this point.
no, we just detaching from it. And then another thing is you gotta deal with every emotion. Like, it's, y'all know that Nipsey quote when he was like, when he was going through it, he had to go through it and he had to deal with every emotion. And I'm like, that shit right there, that is some of the realest shit I ever heard, because it's true. You really gotta just deal with that shit.
Because sometimes you'll tell yourself, I'm fine,
I'm
okay,
fine, or
but
I'm
you're not
cool,
really.
but you not, and you really gotta deal with it. You gotta allow yourself to have emotions, and you gotta understand your emotions, and you have to be okay.
Yeah,
like,
and I think one of the biggest things is it's okay to tell other people I'm okay, it's fine, but it means a whole different thing when what you tell yourself and how you speak to yourself and stuff. It's powerful. And so you have to speak to yourself with love and with honesty and with vulnerability and stuff like that. Before
and
you
being
can tell,
honest, that means
exactly.
being like
Before
true
you
to
can tell
yourself with
somebody
your
else
feelings.
I'm okay and fine and mean it, you got to be able to tell yourself that and actually mean it.
Exactly.
Like, don't tell yourself I'm okay and you know deep down you really not okay.
Exactly.
You have to speak to yourself honestly.
You gotta speak love into yourself. Yeah, and you really gotta accept your feelings, and you gotta give your space. You give yourself a space to be vulnerable, like Makala said, with your own feelings. Like, yeah, I'm fucked up today, and that's just what it is.
And it's okay.
Yeah,
and it's not a problem.
And it's okay, because you ain't the only person in this world that have been sad, mad, happy, glad. Every emotion that you feel, other people feel those emotions too. Whether it's a good emotion or a negative emotion, you have to accept it. And then, like another note that I wrote down, you have to be forgiving. You have to forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself when you going through something and it's a situation that you got to heal up from, and you know it's things that you could have done differently. Like, don't ever, especially if you was good to a person, don't ever beat yourself up about being good to a person. Don't ever beat yourself up about doing your part. You know, you can't. You gotta forgive yourself. Another thing with healing is that, and this is another thing, because I feel like when people are going through some shit, they rely on other motherfuckers so much. And let me tell you about that shit. I just made a status this weekend on Facebook saying I want to run the fuck away. Just because I just be getting tired of sometimes people dumping on me. But that was from something completely different, not necessarily anybody dumping their emotions on me. If you are my friend listening, you know I'm an open book, and you know you can always come to me to heal. But you have to want to heal for yourself. Like, you gotta really want it. You gotta really want it.
You ain't gonna actually.
You ain't gonna do it. And until you want it. I think that's actually the first thing that people need to know.
You gotta want to heal.
You gotta want to heal. Just like when I was going through it with my cousin passing, that was me getting up, going to that therapy session. That was me that called that therapist and was like, hey, something gotta change. I need to talk to somebody.
It's recognition.
It's recognition.
Recognizing that you need help.
Yeah, I recognized it, and I did everything. When she would send me home to like do things to write about, or just because I would write, that was one of the things, journaling, exercising, meditating, all sorts of stuff.
No, don't stop.
Oh, I thought it was a bug on me.
No, I wanted you to look over there. Gotta cut it out.
Oh God, y'all,
you miss they love.
Y'all, it's people out here being freaky.
Older too.
They older too. I kind of want to watch.
You missed it. They was hugged up. You missed it. I was
Okay.
trying to tap on behind like.
Oh, I can't wait till I get older and have my husband, and we can be out at the lake
we
being
both
free.
is healed.
And we both healed up.
Both healed.
Yeah, I can't
But-
fucking wait.
What else you got?
But
What else?
What was we talking? Oh yeah, you have to want it for yourself. And this is just a small disclaimer. If you are that friend where people go to and when they having problems and all sorts of stuff, like, be mindful to set a boundary with that. And
Especially
also,
if you're an empath.
yeah, especially if you're an empath. But also understand that if you are a friend and you have a problem and you going to somebody else with your problems, and you gotta really just put in the work. You can't just you can't just burden other people with that. Be mindful of that, but you gotta really want to do what it takes to heal up and be better for yourself. If your friend is telling you, hey, you should do this, you should do that, you should do this, and you should do that, how about you just fucking do it?
Exactly.
Instead of just, oh, I'm upset in this moment and I'm coming to vent to you and invade your space and all sorts of stuff, and then when y'all get off the phone, you ain't gonna do nothing.
That's some bullshit. You done
Like,
wasted my time
You
and
done
my
wasted
advice.
my time, right? My time, my advice, my breath.
Yeah. Like,
My
come on
energy.
now. Kill
And then
that.
on top of that, you know, if you really love your friends like how I love my friends, when they going through some shit, sometimes it do fuck you up too, because it's like, why, like, it fucks me up because I'll be like, hey, don't treat my friend like that, or whatever the situation may be. I don't want it for my friends.
Over this nigga. I wish he'd get his act together, because I'm sick of my friend being a down sometimes.
Sometimes,
and
but
then not.
I said today, I
But
was
today
like,
she been good.
I know. I said I'm going to the lake to record. It's gonna be a
It's
good
been
day.
good. You finding your healing space.
Yeah, and it's
It's just in case. Because, like I said, I took a hope.
yeah.
Just in case.
I still think that it's a situation that we can fix, but he has to fix it at this point. I'm not.
Oh, yeah.
I'll meet him halfway, but right now, me meeting him halfway isn't appropriate. It's him. He really has to fix this fuck up. Fucking fucker. Oh, yeah, and another thing, when you healing and you just, because it's been times where I'm like, I just want to be happy.
Yeah.
You have to understand that happiness. I was watching a Red Table Talk with Jada Pickett, and this wasn't the last one with Will. It was another episode with Will, and they was talking about the dynamics of their marriage. And Will was talking about how he was doing all this great stuff. He one time for her birthday, he had did something.
Exact episode.
Yeah, with her grandmother that had passed, and Jada was so upset because she didn't know that he was doing that, and she felt like it was inappropriate. So she was like, he was doing all these great things, but I wasn't happy. And that's when she had to learn that happiness can only come from you. Your own happiness can only come from you. And from that, I took that from that, and I'm like,
that
whoa.
stuck out to me too.
Because I feel like a lot of the times we place happiness on our significant other so much, when our it's not our significant other's job. Oh, thank you, girl.
You told me to tell you.
Yeah, it's not our significant other's job to make us happy. It's their job not to do things to inflict pain.
Right.
It's their job not to do things to hurt you. So be mindful of that when you are in these dating situations.
I have something that I think people should be mindful of that I wrote down, and it's just be mindful that what you focus on the most in life determines whether or not you will experience the peace either. So if you're focusing on the negative, you're going to receive that negative. If you're focused on the positive, then you can allow yourself room to have peace. But when you constantly thinking negative, that's not peaceful.
That's not peaceful at all. And that's a major thing, whether you are a Christian or if you are a spiritual person. And my cousin, she even told me that, because I was having all these bad dreams and stuff, but when I would go and read what it would mean, I would be focused on the negative part of it. And she'd be like, well, it said this too. And remember when we was doing that thing last night, last night we was playing, well, we wasn't playing with tarot cards, but we was just on this spiritual page, and they was doing the tarot card shit. And when I would go and look up what my tarot card meant, I was focused on the negative shit because of the situation that I'm in now.
She was already kind of in that funk, so then when it came to reading that stuff, she was only focusing on the negative things because her mind was already negative.
Yeah.
Like, to where she wasn't seeing the positive in it, like, until she just kept on reading it over and over, and then more positive stuff was popping up to where she was like, okay.
And that's why I woke up today and was like, yay, today's gonna be a great day, this is gonna be awesome. That just kind of moved me from that. You can't focus on the negative.
Focus on the negative about it and all that kind of stuff, because it's only gonna make you feel worse. So try to find some type of happy place, some type of sacred place, in your mind, in your heart, your spirit, everywhere.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Yeah, just to build on what Makala said, do what makes you happy. do what makes you happy. And one thing that really made me happy was I had to stop living for others, and I had to set boundaries with people. Because if I don't set those boundaries, because I love people so much, and if I don't set those boundaries, people are just gonna dump on me and do everything, and
people will walk right the fuck over you.
Yeah, if I let them. But I had to set those boundaries, and I had to learn to do what makes me happy, regardless of what other people think of me.
Right.
Like that's something that people tell you to do, but it's really a big thing when it's your family and it's your mama and it's everybody that's close to you that wants you to do one thing or living vicariously through you, so they trying to steer your life in a certain direction.
I hate that.
Yeah, and it's a whole nother thing, and you like, I can't just do that. That's my mom. You like, it's not easy. None of this shit that we are saying about healing, none of that is easy. So understand that. And once you are healed up from a situation, this is kind of like my closing statement that I really want y'all to understand. This is one of the major things. You have to understand that healing is not linear. It is not linear. If you had to heal up from some shit, it is not
good days, bad days.
It's good days and bad days. It is not a chance that you being fucked up from that situation won't ever happen again.
Exactly.
Like, you have to understand that healing is not linear. Like, it's not a straight line. Like, I'm healed and it's never gone. Yeah, it's like, I'm healed from that and I'm never going to deal with the feelings or the emotions from that. No, that's unrealistic and that's not true. If that was the biggest piece of advice I could give, you have to understand that wholeheartedly. You could be chilling and then next thing you know, one day you fucked up because of the situation. And that's like really real. Like that's out of all the shit that I done said, that's the one thing that I need y'all to understand, that healing is not linear. It's not. And shit,
so
sometimes
stay strong. Yes. Even on the bad days, try to stay
strong, or allow yourself to have a bad day.
Exactly.
That's a big thing. Allow yourself to have bad days.
Don't be so hard on yourself in the process of healing. That's the long story. Long story short, don't be hard on yourself. The harder you are on yourself, the more complicated you're making your healing process.
Exactly. No. That's true.
Really
if you I gotta be happy tomorrow, and that's just that.
You making rules to your healing.
Yeah,
when she just said it's not linear.
Yeah, when your emotions is like, bitch, please.
Yeah, it's not a manual. It's not a playbook. It's nothing like that. So you have to realize that you can't be hard on yourself, and you have to just release. Any way that it may look like.
Any way that's healthy.
Can be healthy, really. But releasing can come in the form of anger. Some people like to scream. Find a space. Like, if it was peaceful out here, some people like to come out here and just scream.
Yeah, people like to ride their boats. People like to come out here and just look me. Come out here, have a drink, do whatever it is to make you happy and you can heal from. But understand, you heal from it this week, but next week you might be fucked up, and it's okay.
Or something can trigger, like something new can
trigger your old feelings
that you thought that you were healed from, and you kind of got to go back and say, "Oh, I need to kind of touch up on this in this area or something like that." It's okay to need to go back and redo some healing. That's okay.
If I could give any advice, I would say, damn, they need to turn that shit off. What the fuck are they doing? Thank you. If I could give any advice, I would say allow yourself to have that moment of being sad one day, but the next day, a reset day.
But I feel like that's making rules.
It is making rules, but I mean, at least try. If you can still give yourself as much time, but once you're done being sad and stuff, allow yourself to reset.
A reset is always necessary.
A reset is always
in anything.
Period. You gotta reset.
Sometimes you need a reset and you need a break. But I just think you just learn to release your baggage and heal from your baggage, because you carry those on to other situations and you carry it with you. Bag a lady, you gon' hurt yourself.
Hurt your back.
Oh shit.
Dragging all them bags like that.
So heal from them. Okay? And that's just everybody
Ooh,
that
we
know
need
me
to-
know I am a mumbler. I will mumble some songs and some lyrics and think that it is facts. Okay.
Hey, we need to do it. We are. That might be my next episode.
Which one?
Bag lady.
Okay.
We gotta do that.
Okay.
Definitely. Because I didn't understand what that song meant until I got older. I was a little kid thinking this bitch was talking about backpacks and purses and shit. For real. I'm like, she is gonna miss that bus carrying all that shit. But it was a simile.
It was about
Yeah, it was
we
about
talked
baggage.
about that being my next episode. It's carrying burdens.
Oh,
Burdens
yeah.
is
So,
baggage.
yes.
So
Ooh,
yeah.
there we go.
So
We got another episode.
y'all got this
coming
for
y'all.
tap in, and then y'all gonna have to go ahead and go to Ideally Me for the burden. And
Yes.
and we're always gonna have episodes to where you're gonna
build on
they're
each
gonna
other.
piggyback off of one another because it's just so much to cover.
Exactly.
We got lots
Lots and lots
of things
of
to
stuff.
cover, but
Yeah.
I mean,
I
what
think
else
we're going to wrap this one up.
Mhm.
I think I said everything that I could say about healing, and I feel like y'all, I gave y'all the basics. This is the bottom of the shit. This is from where you start. You got to do the shit yourself, and you got to figure out whatever.
Figure what works for
Yeah,
you. 'Cause
you gotta-
see, things work differently for us.
Exactly. Things work differently for us. So with that being said, I do want to wish you guys a healthy healing process for
Healthy
whatever you're going through. And y'all, if you know a person is not religious and they are going through some shit, that is something you could say to them instead of just saying, I'ma pray for you, because black people, y'all know y'all be saying that shit all the time. And when y'all say,
I actually pray.
some people actually pray, but when I used to say I'ma pray for you, that was the
You want the
prayer.
prayer.
That was the prayer. I'ma pray for
If
you.
if I pray for you comes out my mouth, or if I type it on something, I pray in that instant when I say it. Because if I don't, I definitely forget about it, and then my words is just words.
See.
What we say, words with purpose.
Yeah,
So,
speak with purpose.
Speak with purpose. So if I say I'm gonna pray for you, my purpose is to pray for you.
Yep. So,
but yeah,
like we said, healthy healing process. Wishing you a healthy healing process.
and share your healing processes. This is just two people's opinions on how to heal.
Yep.
We would really like to know other ways that you find that work for you when it comes to healing.
Yep. So, I think I'm gonna post this video on Facebook so we can go ahead and get a discussion going in the.
We might should have went live.
Nah, we shouldn't
Nah.
have. I'm tired of going live. That's
We only went
Twice.
live twice.
twice in 1 week is enough.
1 week. I kind of
Yeah.
like it. It was fun.
It's scary for me. Going live is so scary
Her
because
nerves.
I be on there like I don't know what to say, right? Nah,
But yeah, happy healing, everyone.
and I'm wishing you all a healthy healing process. And thank you for tapping in.
Bye.
Bye.